speeches. And tonight we have a very exciting speech because it's always fantastic when we have somebody to give their icebreaker. I remember mine very well. I was very nervous, and that's natural. Remember, we're doing that. Everybody here is excited to hear your story and what you have to say. We're here to support you. So I want to go ahead and introduce our first speaker tonight. It's Nicole. Nicole's giving her icebreaker speech, and we're all excited to watch her grow. So everybody, please give a big, warm welcome to Nicole.
Thank you very much. So let's ask the Toastmasters and guests. My speech is going to be on the challenge to change and the courage it takes to grow those changes in our life. Aristotle once said, change in all things is sweet. Change brings opportunity. Change for you have to. Because things that are the way they are doesn't mean they're going to stay that way. Change is inevitable, except for an event machine. Some memorable change quotes that I would like to say. Life is full of changes, and it's all about how you move through them and how you experience them and how they make you a better person. When I was younger, I had a little bit of a different situation than a lot of kids. I had a very happy childhood. I grew up with my mom and my dad and my little brother, who was about 2.5, 3 years older than me, or younger than me, I apologize. We moved here from New York we moved to Atlanta when I was from New York when I was 4. My dad used to work for Coca-Cola, and we moved down for a different opportunity. My parents didn't, my whole family lived in New York. Nobody knew anybody from Atlanta. It was just a big change and a challenge to change. We moved when I was about 4, and about shortly after then, we noticed that my hair wasn't growing in exactly how it had to be. I had a little bit of bald spots everywhere, and my mom was worried and panicked, and she didn't know what it was. So we went to several doctors, and everywhere we went to the dermatologist, and they said I had a rare condition called alopecia areata. Now, a lot of people don't know what that is. It's an immune deficiency. It's genetic. Nobody in my family had it. It's just a rare occasion that your hair doesn't really grow in all the way, or you could have times where you have no hair. Some people have it where they have no body hair, and a lot of times you can see those people and you think they're, they're cancer patients or something's wrong. It's just a hair disorder. I'm a completely healthy, normal person besides that. So when I was 4, we started noticing it. And I went in and out. I was still a very happy kid. I got to experience everything. I was one of those kids who didn't try one sport and stick with it. I tried everything. I did horseback riding, to rhythm gymnastics, to regular gymnastics, to ice skating, to something that I always thought with was swimming, which is a little difficult when you don't have all your hair. So right about when I got into middle school, I lost all my hair. And it could have been something with my hormones at the time. We really didn't know what it was. My mom took me up to a conference in Chicago at the time, because I had never met anybody who, and this is before the internet, and it was very prevalent to meet people. And we got the national area alopecia newsletter, so I would see some things, but I never got to really meet anybody who was going through what I did. And I went to Chicago that summer right before I went to middle school, and it was definitely a change. It was an eye-opener to see that all these people, all this encouraging people, that they can live with this change in their life. Some people living with it from a young age, some people, being adults, just, it can happen at any time. It can happen when I'm 26 years old, it can happen at any time. It was interesting to see, how people live with that. And so I went into middle school with a heavy heart on that. I had to start wearing a wig. So I got fitted for a wig, and I wore a natural hair wig. None of my friends knew. I kept it quiet from everybody. Some of them might have knew at the time, but I just didn't, I pretended like they didn't know. So, at times I would get embarrassed, or I would get made fun of in school, and I would sometimes at the time when I was in elementary school, I always wore a hat. So I would still wear the hat even though I had the wig on, just to, because I was self-conscious. And then I stopped and started to grow out a little bit more out of my shell. Good thing is, by the end of middle school, some of my hair started growing back, but it was very short and very thin, and it was, more of a self-confidence to have the wig on. So when the change came to high school, about midway through my high school year, on accident, one of my friend's boyfriends at the time, we were walking the hallway, and just happened to grab my shoulder, and my wig fell off. And I went running down the hallway into the teacher's room, screaming and crying, and pitching a fit. It was really sad. So that was definitely a change. At the time, the good thing was the majority of my hair was already back. It was just very short. I cut it in the front, so I wouldn't have to worry, you know, it wouldn't show through the wig. So when we went to, at that time, I thought it was the end of the world. I couldn't go to the high school anymore. Everybody was going to know. So I went and lived with my aunt for a couple months. Came back. My hair was, I lived in Florida. My hair was bleached blonde, just, you know, not very long, longer than Brian's, but it was a little bit longer, and I had a lot more confidence and everything. And I think that going through something like that gave me a lot of courage to deal with changes in your life. About 2 years ago, I moved to Charlotte, and I didn't know anybody. It was a new job, a new position, a completely different industry than what I was in, and it was a definite change. But I think it's all about how you embrace those changes, and the courage is, you know, how you're going to do in life and how you pick yourself back up. You know, some of my changes haven't always been good, but it's how you pick yourself back up again is really how you are able to have the courage to embrace that. So, thank you very much.